Hello and welcome back. Today we will do our second yoga session for fasting and coaching programs, which is part of the Fasting and Wellbeing Network. So for today's class, if you have a blanket handy, get that. If you could also have a strap or a belt or a scarf, that would be useful. And then if you have a yoga block, something similar to this kind of shape, we're going to be using that in the class also. So to begin, we're just going to come down onto the back, lying down with our knees bent initially. So when you find yourself in this position with the knees bent, now you can stay here with the knees bent, maybe walking the feet to the outside edge of the mat and allowing the knees to fall in towards each other. This is a nice position if you have issues with the lower back. If you'd like to lengthen out the legs and this feels okay on the back, then go ahead. Some people like to prop a little, maybe a rolled up blanket or a cushion underneath their knees, just to take a little bit of pressure off the lower back. So just getting comfortable. You can have the arms resting down by the sides of the body. And then just allowing your eyes to close. And just coming into this space where your body is. So letting go of any thoughts of the day that's gone before you. Just bringing your awareness to your body here, resting on the floor. Just being aware of the parts of your body that are touching the floor. So the back of the head, making sure it's in a comfortable position. The back of the shoulders and the arms, the hands. The parts of your back that are touching the floor. The back of your pelvis, your buttocks, the back of your legs, your heels, or perhaps your feet. Just scan through the body now for a moment, just noticing if there's any areas that are tense, and see, can you soften those areas? Just allowing just a sense of releasing and easing. Now take your awareness to the breath in your body. So feeling the flow of your breath as it moves through the body. Noticing your breath perhaps in the nostrils as the air flows in on the inhale and out on the exhale. Or perhaps you'd like to notice the breath at your chest. So noticing how the chest rises gently as you breathe in and then lowers down as you breathe out. You can feel the lungs expanding on the in-breath and then contracting on the out-breath. Perhaps you'd like to notice the breath at your tummy, noticing the tummy rising and falling as you breathe. Wherever you're noticing the breath most, wherever you can feel it best in your body, stay with that place now for the next few moments. And we're going to practice an even breath. So this is where we count our inhale and we count the exhale, and they're both of equal length. So we might start with the number 5. So we breathe into the count of 5. And then breathing out to the count of 5. And again, breathing into the count of 5. And out to the count of 5. So continue now in this manner for a few more rounds of breath. Just going at your pace. At the end of this next breath, you can open your eyes. And if you have a support beneath your knees, you just remove that out to the side. And now everybody will straighten the legs and arms down by the side. So we were breathing there to the count of 5. So we're going to try that with our movements here now. So on your next inhale, we're going to lift the arms up overhead. You're going to point the toes away from you to the count of 5. And exhaling, bringing the arms back. You can flex the feet. See, can you synchronize the movement with the breath? So inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we go like that for a few more. Inhale, pointing the toes, lifting the arms, stretching them behind, and exhaling. And again, filling up the lungs, exhaling. Lovely. And one more round. Inhale, lifting up, pointing the toes away, stretch through the fingers, exhaling. Flexing the feet and arms relax down. Relax the feet now for a moment. On an inhale, we lift the arms again, trying to stay with that rhythm of the count of 5. Exhale, you're going to bend both knees. Start to bring the arms forwards, lift the head, hug the knees in. Let's go again. Inhaling, lifting the arms up behind. You can keep the knees bent here now. And exhaling, drawing the knees in, lifting the head, hugging in. Inhale again, opening out. And exhaling, lifting the head, hugging the knees in. Try not to strain on the neck here. Just lifting the head as high up as is comfortable, and then relax the feet down on the floor and taking the arms down. So the feet here, we want the feet hip width distance apart, and you should be able to, maybe when you reach down with your hands, you can just touch your heels there. So you have walked them in somewhat towards your bum. Okay, so we're going to come into what we call a supported bridge. So here, this is where we would use the block. So begin with the shorter end or the lowest end of the block. You're going to press into your feet, lifting the bum up off the floor, and then you're going to place the block underneath you at the sacrum. So this is just the top of the pelvis, that bony part at the lower back. And if this is enough of a lift for you, you can stay here. Some people might like to change the height of the block, maybe going to the middle height of the block. Or if you feel very open in the back, you can go up to the tallest height in the block. So just making sure that you are comfortable. Arms are down by the sides. And we'll just take a few nice deep breaths here into the lungs. Seeing, can we stay with the 5 count on the breath, the inhale and the exhale. Long, deep breaths. And then after this next round, you can reach over and remove the block. And then, arms down by the side on the exhale, just allowing the back to come back down onto the mat. Say 1 vertebrae at a time. Just rest here for a moment, take the feet out wide, and then just allowing the knees to fall in towards each other. Just allowing the back a moment to settle. And then we'll take the feet back to where they're under the knees. Let's draw the knees in towards the chest. A breath or two here. Maybe even lifting the head if it feels okay on the neck. And then we'll release down, both feet down. Okay, so we're going to straighten the right leg. Going to flex that the right foot. On your next inhale, lifting the arms up overhead. So reaching through the fingers. And on the exhale, we'll point that right foot and start to lift the arms and the legs. You can lift the head also. The leg doesn't have to be super straight, drawing that leg in towards you. Inhale, we'll lower the leg, lower the arms. The leg can be bent. Flex the foot. Exhaling, lifting the right leg, lifting the arms, drawing that right leg in towards you. Inhale, releasing the arms back down, releasing the right leg down. Flex the foot.
On your next exhale, pointing the toes, lifting the arms, drawing it in. And inhale, bending that right leg and sliding it back down. Good. Let's change over. We'll bend the right foot or the right leg. Right foot resting on the floor, left foot straightened out. Now pressing the back of that left leg down into the floor as best you can. So that left leg is active. On an inhale, we lift the arms overhead. Exhale, point the toes on the left foot. And let's lift both the arms and the legs, maybe the head also, up to meet. Exhale, inhaling, lowering down, exhaling, meeting up. Inhale, releasing down, sliding that left leg down, flex the foot. Exhaling, lifting up, keeping the core strong here. Inhaling, lowering down again. Exhaling, one more, drawing it up. And inhaling, releasing down. And then you can bend both knees. Okay, and we keep the knees here. On an inhale, lifting the arms up overhead. And on the exhale, just drawing both knees in. You can lift your head if you wish. Breathing here for one more breath. And releasing back down on the exhale. Now we'll take the arms down by the side and maybe just even a little bit. You can place the arms or just the hands a little bit underneath your glutes. Place the hands flat on the floor. Leave your elbows drawn in towards each other, keeping the feet on the floor. On your next inhale, we're going to press the elbows into the floor, lift the chest up towards the ceiling, maybe sliding the head back. And on the exhale, lowering down. Release the arms. Inhale, we lift the arms up. And as you're lifting up, you lift up the hips also, coming into a bridge. Exhaling, lowering down. Try to synchronize the movement with the breath. And then here, we're going to take the arms out wide. And you come up onto your tippy toes. So the arms are out from the shoulders. On your next exhale, you're going to allow the knees to fall to the left. Keep the right shoulder grounded. You can turn your head to the right. Inhale, lift the head back up to neutral. Exhaling, undo the twist. Inhale here. And on the next exhale, you can stay up on the tippy toes and we're twisting the other side. So allow the knees to fall to the right and the head moves to the left. On your next inhale, taking your gaze back up towards the ceiling, exhaling, undo the twist. Feet can rest down flat on the floor again. Take the arms down by the sides and maybe a little bit underneath the buttocks. Flat of the hands on the floor. On an inhale, press the hands, the elbows into the floor, lifting the chest, maybe sliding back on the back of the head. Exhaling, release down. Arms release to the sides, feet planted on the floor. Inhale, we lift the hips, lift the arms up overhead. So coming into our bridge pose, chest moving towards the chin, not the chin towards the chest. And exhale. See, could you come down one vertebrae at a time? And lowering down. Come on to the tippy toes and arms out to the sides. On your next exhale, allowing the knees to fall to the left, the legs to fall to the left. Keep the right shoulder grounded. Bringing the knees back up to the center, head back up to the center, exhaling to the other side. Back to the center, and then release the heels down. Arms back by the sides, and then taking the hands beneath the glutes. On an inhale, press the elbows in, hands into the floor. Lift the chest, fish pose variation, and exhaling, lowering back down. Inhale, we lift the arms, lift the hips, coming into a bridge variation, and exhaling, lowering down. Arms to the sides, onto the tippy toes. You can walk your feet in a little bit if you need to, up onto the tippy toes, and then exhale to the left, we'll say, and turn your head to the right. Coming back to the center, out of the twist, and then we'll go the other way. Legs to the right, and you can turn your head to the left. Left shoulder stays grounded. And then coming back to the center and releasing here. Good. So we'll take the strap now, and we're going to draw the right leg in towards us. Take the strap around the right foot. And here you're going to press out through the strap or through the foot, lengthening out through the strap. Now, just depending on how open you are in the back of the legs here, you walk your hands up the strap, but then we want to make sure we bring the shoulders, the back of the shoulders, back down onto the mat. And you might start to feel a stretch here on the back of that right leg. It doesn't need to be as high up as mine is. If you're back here, that's great. No problem. So just go with whatever your leg is allowing you to do, whatever your body is allowing you to do. And then when you're in this position, if it feels okay to straighten the left leg, go ahead, do that. If you do straighten the left leg, keep that left foot flexed. And we'll just stay here for a little bit of time, just allowing as best we can a little softening to come to the back of that right leg. So this is a moment now where we can really just try to keep our attention on our breath. Breathing fully, maybe counting the 5 on the inhale, 5 on the exhale. And one more full breath here. Now, if your left leg was straight, you're going to bend it. We place the left foot on the floor, bend the right knee, and you can just undo the strap there. Place the right foot on the floor, and now draw the left knee in towards you, wrapping the strap around that left foot. Okay, and now we'll press that left foot into the strap. Allow the strap to slide through the hands, and just going with whatever your left leg is allowing you to do. Just be careful here that you don't lock out your knee completely. So a little micro bend here is good, or more if you need it. Just being careful not to hyperextend that left knee. And then if you'd like to go there, you can straighten out the right leg. If you do go with that option, just keep that right foot flexed. Your hands have walked up the strap as high up as they can go, and then just draw the shoulders back. And here we'll spend a few moments again, breathing through the pose, doing your count to 5 on each inhale and on each exhale. After your next exhale, you can bend that left leg and undo the strap. And you can place the strap to the side. And we'll come to our figure of 4 pose. So here we're going to so both legs are bent. We take the right ankle just above the left knee. Now here we want to flex that right foot. So just making sure that right foot is active. And then if this is enough of a stretch for you here on the right glute, then you stay here. Perhaps you may like to lift that left leg, drawing it up towards you. So this makes the pose a little bit deeper. So you can hold on to that left leg, supporting it at the back of the thigh, or if the left leg, if it's open to you, you can reach around and join the hands together at the front of that left shin. So again, a few long, deep breaths here in this pose. And just when we're holding the poses for a certain amount of time, we just want to focus on either the breath or, as you're breathing, focusing on the sensations in the body as you're in the pose. On your next exhale, you can lower that left foot down, lower the right foot down, and we'll change over. So we take the left ankle just above the right knee. Now we flex that left foot, and then maybe stay here if it's enough for you, or if you are drawing or lifting the right leg, you can do it now. And just drawing it in towards you. So supporting it, whatever place is most comfortable for you. And then releasing the right leg, release the left leg. We'll stretch out the legs now, as long as it's okay on the back. If the lower back is giving out a little bit, then keep the knees bent. Just lying here for a moment, arms by the sides. Just paying attention now, or just noticing even how your body feels. And now we bend both knees. You're going to turn onto your side. So let's come onto the right side actually. And you can support your head here with your hand. So you can prop your head up with your hand, and your left hand can be just in front of you, just for a little bit of extra support. Now we're going to flex the feet in both legs. On your next inhale, you're going to lift the left leg up. And we're going to stay here for A few breaths. So you might notice the glutes are working here. The quad muscles are working to keep that leg, the left leg, in that position. And on your next exhale, you can lower that left leg down. Let's bend the left knee, bring it in towards you. Now here you might need to take a hold of the strap again. What we're going to do is reach down for the foot. So if you need to take the strap in the hand, you can go for that. Keep supporting your head, and then you can lift up that left leg up in the air. So if you can reach with your hand, you take a hold of the big toe with the index finger and the middle finger. You wrap those fingers around that big toe and then just reaching up, stretching out through that left leg. Be careful of the balance here. So you still want to flex that right foot on the floor and holding yourself in that position. Good. And then we'll bend the left leg, whether you're holding with the hand or the strap, you let go now and you release that left foot down. So we'll change over to the other side. So lying on the left side of the body, and support your head with your left hand. And both feet are flexed. On your next inhale, we're lifting the right leg up towards the ceiling and trying to keep it in line with the rest of the body. So making sure it's not going too far back or too far forward, keeping it in line. And then you can notice the quads. So can you lift the kneecaps here, or the kneecap of the right leg. So it's working and the glutes are working. Keep that right foot flexed. And then on the next exhale, you can lower down and you can bend that right knee, drawing the right foot in towards you. And again, holding onto the foot, taking a hold of the strap if you need to. And lifting, working towards straightening the right leg. It doesn't need to be straight, but working towards that. Keep that left foot flexed, so to help you with balance. And then we can bend the right knee, releasing it down, and then just pressing yourself up. You're going to come onto the tummy here. I'm just going to move to the other end of the mat again. So we're lying on the tummy, all the way down. And here, before we even lift up, maybe just putting one hand on top of the other, resting your forehead here. And we're going to set up the lower half of the body first. So feet are hip width distance apart. We're going to press the tops of the feet into the floor. So as you press down, you might notice your kneecaps want to lift. If they haven't lifted, then lift your kneecaps. Okay, so this is making the legs active here. We want to engage the core. So thinking about drawing your belly button in towards the spine. And now we're going to bring ourselves up onto the forearms and the hands. Elbows here, working towards taking the elbows beneath the shoulders. But if this is too much, if this feels like you're too high up, then by all means just slide the elbows more forward. So we're coming into Sphinx pose here, and we're going to hold for a few breaths. So the idea here is we want our shoulders back. We want the chest coming forwards, sternum open to the front, shoulder blades squeezing towards each other. Now, if you're feeling this too much in the lower back, then sliding down a little bit onto the floor.
with the elbows, sliding them more forwards towards the top of your mat. Okay, so one more breath in this position. And then on your next exhale, you can lower down and then relax the hold you have on the legs. Place one hand on top of the other and rest your forehead down on your hands. And just relaxing here for a few moments. Just letting any tension that's built up in the body, allowing it to release. And then you can take your hands away from underneath the forehead. Actually, we'll place just the right forearm on the floor, just above the forehead, and you're going to reach back, bend the left leg and reach back for that left foot, and drawing the left heel in towards the glute. And we just want to be careful here that we're not arching the back, so keeping your core strong. So we'll think about here just pressing the pubic bone down into the mat as you draw the heel, the left heel back towards you. And then releasing the hold on that left leg. And we'll reach back. So change arms. You support yourself on the left forearm. Left hand is on the floor and bend the right leg. Draw the right ankle or the right heel in towards you. You can take a hold of that right leg at the right ankle. So again, making sure you're not lifting or arching into the lower back. So think about the pubic bone, pressing the pubic bone into the floor. And breathing here. So we're getting a nice stretch on the quad muscles. And then releasing that right leg. So you take your hands beneath your shoulders here. You're going to press into your hands and we'll come up onto all fours. We make sure our hands are beneath our shoulders. Our knees are underneath our hips. And we'll come into our cat-cow movement. So this is a nice little movement for the spine, just getting a flowing movement into the spine. So on an inhale, we just begin to allow the tailbone to lift. Belly lowers towards the floor and the chest moves forward. And then on the exhale, the tailbone lowers down. We begin to round the spine and you press the floor away with the hands. Let's go again. Inhale, tummy lowering down, moving the chest forwards. Look forwards. And on the exhale, rounding the back, making like a dome shape. Inhale, arching the back, bringing the chest forwards. Exhaling. So this part here is the cat part of the pose. And then next part, inhale, is the cow part of the pose. So cat-cow, we call this. Exhaling up. And then one more. Taking an out breath, press the floor away. And then inhale, bring yourself back to neutral. Bring your big toes together, allow them to touch. And then you're sinking back into child's pose. So you're bringing your sit bones back to your heels and lowering down onto the mat. So here now, when we're in this pose, if this is too much here on the quads and the legs, you could put a blanket underneath. Sometimes people find a little comfort in that. We could put a blanket in between your lower legs and the upper legs. if you find, so we're going to stay here for a few breaths, so I'll go through a few of the modifications. If you are cramping in the feet, roll up a blanket and place it just at the top of the ankle there. That might take some pressure off the feet. Now, another thing you can do, so the knees can be together or apart. Some people like to have a bit of space between the knees, just as more comfortable to allow them to come lower down onto the ground. And then for the forehead, coming down onto the floor, one hand on top of the other if you wish. You could place one fist on top of the other if you'd like to be if you need a little bit more height. Otherwise, if it's comfortable to rest the forehead on the floor, then go for that. And you can stretch out the arms if you wish, or sometimes people like to take the arms down by the sides of the legs. So we'll just take 2 more breaths here. Breathing nice and deeply into the back ribs. See, can you stretch out the back and the sides of the ribs? Now we'll take both hands to either side of the head, pressing into the hands, bring yourself up, and we're going to sit back on the heels here. And then we're going to take the feet to one side, let's say to the left side. We'll take both hands either side, and on an inhale we lift the right arm, and on the exhale just leaning to the left side. Inhale, coming up again, straightening up, and exhale, we lean over again. Just looking for a nice stretch on the right side of the body. We go one more, inhaling, coming up, exhaling, reaching over. Now this time we'll hold it here for a few breaths. So just gluing your right sit bone down into the floor and then reaching out through the right fingertips as best you can. Lovely. On your next inhale, we'll come up. Exhale, release that right hand. Just bring yourself up and we'll move the feet over to the other side. Now, taking both hands out to the side, so sitting up nice and tall. On an inhale, we lift up that left arm, and on the exhale, leaning to your to your right. Inhale, straightening up, and exhale again. Let's come over, looking for a stretch on the left side of the body. Inhale, sitting up tall, exhaling. Over to the right side. Now again, just gluing the left sit bone down to the floor and then reaching out through the left fingertips. Breathing here. Inhale, we'll come back up to sitting, and exhale, release that arm. So coming back to where we had the feet on the left side, and you're going to just slide that right foot forwards. So the right foot is in front of you, the left foot behind you. Now, if this is in an uncomfortable position here, please fold up a blanket. This is going to give you a little bit more height. You could sit up on the blanket, and it just lifts your hips up a little bit higher than the knees, so it just helps you feel more able to get into the pose. So here we're going to take the right hand behind and the left hand on the right knee. On an inhale, sit up tall, and on the exhale, twisting to your right. So maybe even turning your head over the right shoulder. Sometimes people like to take the back of that left hand. It just helps them pressing the back of that left hand into the right thigh. Just helps you open out into the twist a little bit more. And here we're looking for the twist on the mid back and up, so not down at the lower back. On your next exhale, undo the twist, and we'll change over with the legs. So we have the right leg has gone behind us, the left leg comes in front. Left hand behind, right hand on the left leg. Inhale, sitting up tall, and then exhale, twisting to your left. So turning to the left, maybe even taking your gaze over your left shoulder, and then maybe some of you might like to try the back of that left or the right hand on the left leg. On your next exhale, undo the twist. So we'll come to what we call a version of boat pose. So we begin with our feet resting on the floor, and you can take your hands behind your knees. You're going to engage your core here, so drawing the belly button in towards the spine, and you're just going to start to lean back a little bit. So we're leaning back, we're coming onto the tippy toes. When we lean back, we want to make sure we're not rounding in the back here. So try to keep your chest, the sternum, moving forwards as best you can. Okay, so maybe you'd like to try lifting the feet off the ground. So if this is good for you, you can stay here and continue to breathe. Some of you might like to lift the arms out. And a few breaths like this. And then exhale, release. You can draw your knees in towards you, just a little hug here. And we'll go again. So bending the knees to begin with, hands behind the legs, lift the chest forward. So think about the shoulder blades moving towards each other. Draw the belly button in towards the spine and try to keep that hold in the abdominal muscles. We'll just come back. We're still on the sit bones, but we don't want to come off them completely. We're leaning back somewhat and then lifting the legs. Some of you might like to let go of the hands, but when we do that, make sure the chest doesn't collapse. Keep lifting the chest and breathe. And then lowering down. Well done. So now we're going to come down onto the back. So you're going to ease your way down, bending the elbows, coming down, and you can take your feet hip width distance apart. Take the arms out to the sides. So the arms coming out from the shoulders. On your next exhale, you're going to allow the legs to fall to the left. Keep your right shoulder grounded. Turning your head to look to the right. A nice twist for the body. Breathing into the pose again. And then bring the knees back up. And on your next exhale, lowering them over towards the other side, to the right. Keeping both shoulders grounded. You can turn your head to the left if you wish. And then bringing the knees back up to
the center and bringing the head back up to the center. Let's just draw both legs in towards the chest again, hugging the knees in, and then a little gentle rock from side to side. And then lowering the feet down, and we'll prepare for Shavasana. So this is our relaxation part of the class. So if it feels okay, you can keep your legs outstretched. If you'd like to place something under the knees, like a rolled up blanket or a bolster, go for that. If you'd like to keep the knees bent completely, just taking them to the outside edge of the mat and then just allowing them to fall in towards each other, so you don't have to hold onto the legs. So the legs are outstretched, just allowing some space between the feet, between the legs, allowing the feet to fall to the sides. And then just taking the hands behind you, just snuggling the tailbone down. So you have a little bit of length in the lower back. And then here, with the upper body, we press the arms, the elbows into the floor, lift the chest up, and then just see, can you snuggle your shoulder blades down the back. Then allow the arms to come down to the sides. A bit of space between the arms and the side body. Here we'll turn the palms of the hands upwards towards the ceiling. And then, if you like, you can close down the eyes. And just surrender to the floor. Allow the weight of your body to lower down to the floor, to release down to the floor. Feel the feet softening, releasing. Noticing the lower legs. Seeing, can you soften the muscles of the lower legs a little more? Releasing and softening the muscles of the upper legs. Soften the muscles around the pelvis, the glutes, your lower abdominals. Relaxing all along the torso, from the lower back all the way up to the shoulders, and from the lower abdominals all the way up to the neck, along the rib cage, the chest, the collarbones, softening and releasing the muscles of the arms, around the wrists, and the hands. Just seeing, can you notice any sensations in the hands or the fingers? Perhaps a little pulsing or vibrations. Relaxing the muscles of the neck. Relaxing all across the face, the jaw, the mouth, the tongue in the mouth, around the eyes, letting go of any tension across the forehead. And that space between the eyebrows. Just keep your attention here for the next few moments. Allowing yourself to slip into a more relaxed state. Bringing your attention back to your body in case you've drifted off. Just bring some small movements to the fingers and the toes, moving them gently. And then in your own time, just taking care, bending your knees. You're going to roll onto your right side and support your arm with your head. And support your head with your arm. The knees can be curled up. Just resting here for another moment or so. Gently reawakening the body.
And then in your own time, use your left hand to bring yourself up to a seated position. So pressing that left hand into the floor and coming up safely. And we'll take the hands together at the heart. So giving gratitude for the practice. Well done, everybody. I hope you enjoyed it. Namaste.